push-ups better than I can do push-ups. So it's crazy. Yeah.
We are live. So that's great that you guys are working out in the morning. We're just going to chat a minute while people come in. You know what? I should put a thing up there that says StreamYard puts this thing out on Facebook. It's like, if you want to make a comment, click on the link that's in the broadcast. It'll let us know who you are so that we can bring up comments, because I can bring up comments that look like this.
Cool.
But, yeah, like this StreamYard thing. If you're thinking about StreamYard is pretty cool.
I like this. This is neat.
Yeah, and it's it's not a lot of money, and it's really interesting. So, what is our topic today? Managing your business like a badass.
That's a good title. I like it.
I took that from your picture in your.
Yes.
It says, "I am a badass." I like it.
Yes.
So, what's been going on with you guys during the quarantine? Everything cool?
We've been doing a lot of stuff around the house. I actually remodeled this crazy, amazing studio. I can't get enough of it. I'm always down here. Caleb's like, "Hey, can you come up and help with the kids?" I'm like, "Sorry, I'm working down here. Can't help you right now."
That's quarantine day 48, Mandy. You're already to day 48.
No, I'm 48. No, it's not. No.
Thinking about organizing some things. It's been so stir crazy. I've been playing video games like to no end. My fingers hurt.
That's so funny. So for me, Caleb and I were talking about it last night. Caleb is a video game player. He loves video games, but we don't very much because it takes a lot of time from our business and from our kids.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about this Tiger something.
Oh, I refuse to watch it. I keep scrolling by
it. But it's not because, we don't want to watch it, but it's not because we don't want to watch it. It's because we haven't had time. Like, I think the only thing since this quarantine that we put on the TV is actually Onward, which we watched with the kids the other night. But other than that, we go to bed early. We get up at 5, and then we do stuff for our businesses, even though we're like, just because we're in quarantine doesn't mean we're dead. Like, we can still do stuff, so.
That's great.
Keep going. So.
Yeah, we've been, I just don't want to watch Tiger King because I'm afraid that something's going to happen to one of the tigers. It's like, I want to see that Harrison Ford movie. What is it called? Into the Wild.
Oh yeah.
I know the dog's probably going to die or something, and I'm like, I can't watch it. Like, I've never seen A Dog's Life. I've never seen
Marley and Me.
About Marley. No. I cannot deal with the dogs dying. I can't do it.
Yeah, it was sad. I cried harder in that than I did in any person dying in a movie. That's horrible, but it's so true.
They should stop the movie like right before that and be like, "This is your time to leave." It was a good movie. They should have 2 endings. Like, it's like, okay, it was really fun. You should leave now because it's going to get dark.
So that reminds me of this episode of Friends. Obviously, I'm a huge Friends fan, but there's this episode of Friends where they're watching Old Yeller, and Phoebe's like, "What are you talking about? The dog lives at the end." And they're like,
"He goes for a hike."
"What are you talking about? The dog dies." And so she watches all these like movies where she hasn't seen the real ending. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Anyway. That's me. I haven't seen the real ending to any of them. I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Nope. It's sad.
What's your website? Because we want to put that banner out too.
So it's just mandypennphotography.com.
Mandy Penn Photography. Like this?
Yep.
Got it.
Awesome.
So we got a few people coming on board.
Cool.
Mandy Penn, it is so nice to have you here. We met at Villa Sport. What has it been? 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, 3, 2 or about that. I have no idea.
I'm there with my buddy Matt Summer working out in the morning. You're there with is it Paige? Paige working out in the morning and screaming at each other, "Move that weight, you maggot!" And me and Matt are sitting there going, "Whoa, we got to lift more weight."
Who is this girl? And what is she yelling at her friend for? That's the only way we got anything done is when we would, motivate with nice words of encouragement.
I love it. I me and Matt do that to each other. And then, so we became like gym buddies. We say hi in the morning, ask how each other is doing, acquaintances. And then during this quarantine, we got connected through Facebook, and find out we both are in business. So
which is
I'm
awesome.
like, why don't you come on the channel and tell us all about your business and your journey, and let's go from there.
Yeah, awesome. So my journey with photography actually started a little different. A lot of people say, you know, they always loved taking pictures and they, you know, always thought they would do this. Well, I never thought I would do this ever in my life. So when it was about 10 years ago, I started modeling in Kansas City when Caleb and I lived there, and I loved it. And I didn't love the glamour stuff as much. I loved the stuff that was like super emotional and like very just different, you know what I mean? Very editorial, and so very themed, if you must,
Okay.
which I'm finding to be kind of a niche that I like in photography as well. So, so basically sorry, I think I muted mine. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I had accidentally muted my mic. So basically, I moved back to Colorado Springs, and I went to an agency in Denver, and I showed up in this super cute dress, and I'm more conservative, so but I had just chopped my hair off because I look like every other girl. I look like the girl next door. There's nothing about me feature-wise that like puts me above anyone else. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I went in to this meeting, and the first thing out of their mouth was, "So do you always carry your weight around your stomach?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, I have PCOS, but I don't care what." I was like, "What?" Like I just was flat.
They asked you if you always carry your weight around your stomach.
Yeah. And I was like, and I was skinnier than I was now. I was 130 pounds. I'm 5'9", so it was insane. And then they progressively, like, they just kept asking me all these questions, like super rude and demeaning. And then the last one was like, "Well, if you could grow your hair out again, that'd be great because you kind of look like a soccer mom." And at this point, I was not a mom. I was not even thinking about being a mom. And so I left that saying to Caleb, I was like, you know what? I can't do this to myself. Like, who wants all that negativity? And no matter what they think, like if someone tells you you're ugly, it's up to you to believe it or not. And at that point in my life, I wasn't at that point. You know what I mean? I was the person that they thought I was, not the person I think I am.
Gotcha.
So after that, we had kids. And then once I had these I have twins. They're almost 7 now. It's crazy. But I loved taking pictures of them. And pictures to me, just like when I was modeling, they mean so much to me. And you can remember things about that day. You can remember if you were upset or what you were thinking during that thing. So during a shoot or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take pictures of the kids. And then I started to actually be like, you know what? Well, since I'm home, why don't I see if I could at least make some extra money? Like Caleb was making enough money. We were fine. Wasn't a big deal. But I was like, I'll just try it. So then I started taking pictures once we moved back here because we were in New York for 2 years.
Wow.
Yes. So I've been back for about 3 years now. So we met probably about the time we came back.
Oh, okay. Villa. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, and then it just rolled, and I just kept getting all these people that were like, "Oh, can you do this? Oh, can you do this?" So I dabbled in everything from products to families to everything. So
all different types of photography things you were looking at, trying to figure out what your niche was going to be.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, kind of figured. I mean, I have it narrowed more. I know what I do and I don't like to do, but I have to find what I want to do all the time. You know what I mean? So
can I share with them your viral video?
Oh yeah.
And your picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So check this out, guys. This is Mandy's page on Facebook. And this is for you Friends fans out there, Central Perk, and all of the babies right there are real babies.
All babies. Yes.
Isn't that something? That's a great photograph.
Thanks.
Yes.
So Monica, the one in the purple, and Rachel, the one in the red with the Princess Leia hat. They are twins. Their names are Gemma and Georgia. And they were actually the first people that I contacted about this because Allie, their mom, is a huge Friends fan as well. She goes to the gym too, actually. She goes to Villa.
What's her name? Allie?
Allie Coates. Yeah, she's adorable. She's so sweet. And so I was like, hey, I know you have a photographer already, but would you be willing to do a themed thing for me if we did friends? And she was totally on board. So then obviously my extra kicked in and I was like, you know what? What if I got a couch with, look at that couch. It's perfect. I mean, look at it. It's, nope, wrong way. Look at that. It's
Okay,
like,
let's take this one down and look at that couch behind her. There it is right there.
there it is. It's like itty bitty. It's so cute. So
Oh, there's the picture on the wall because that
Oh, yeah.
picture went viral. It got like 1 million views or something like that.
Yeah, so it had 41,000 shares just on my Facebook page, and then it was covered by Good Morning America.
What?
Yeah, last week was crazy. Not, I mean, on their Facebook page and their website. It showed up in Yahoo News. Someone messaged me that. I had no idea. And then Pop Sugar covered it. So it's crazy because actually newborns is a new thing for me. So the couch, I just have to throw this out there just so you all know, Danielle Funk made this couch. She is phenomenal. She's local and she reupholsters stuff and she is the absolute most amazing person. Anyway, she owns her own business, but she made that and is getting like people messaging her like, how much was that couch? And I'm like, it's pretty steep because she made it from the ground up.
It's from scratch. So what's the name of her company?
Her name is Danielle Shunk, but her company is Sincerely Danielle Shunk. So she does a lot of design. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she actually
ask her if she wants to talk to us. We could do this 3-way or it can get 6 people on the stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really cool. I haven't tried it with more than 2, but
try that. I like that. Yeah, she's great. She's awesome. She's very herself, and she's not. I mean, she's awesome. I just love her. She's very inspirational. So anyway, that's my little tidbit about that. But the question you did ask was what?
I asked you. Let's go over your company along with your journey and what made you decide to open your own business. And you got us through
right
modeling snafu when they were like, you look like everybody else and you were still going through your own identity. Then you had kids, you moved back here from New York. Mm-hmm. And when did this inspiration come about where you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this?
So I joined a lot of groups actually, and everyone was like, well, you can either do it for business or you could do it for a hobby. What do you want to do? And at that point I wasn't working. I worked at Villa Sport for a little bit in the kids area. And so I decided that I would give it a try. And if I made extra money, then great. If not, then I could do it as a hobby, whatever. But then once people started seeing what I was doing, and I'm extremely creative, so I like to do things outside of the box, like friends shoot, like all that stuff. But I'm finding that I really enjoy themed stuff, themed shoots, because then I can put my all in it, and I like everyone loves something, you know, like
unique to that family.
Yep.
Right.
Yes. So.
Interesting. So we could hire you to do a theme shoot, like let's say on our boat or our camper or something like that, and have us.
All in.
Okay.
All in. Oh yeah.
My daughter would be Deadpool. My son would be, I don't know what he would be. Maybe he would be a Taekwondo student or something like that. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's super cool. And like, I mean, not everyone is a fan of Friends, obviously. Like people like their Frasier and they like How I Met Your Mother and they like Simpsons and stuff. Not everyone likes the same type of thing. So that's a big thing that I'm dealing with themes, is that not everyone's going to like what you do. Not everyone is going to be supportive of you.
And how did that make you feel? Like when you first started out, how did that make you feel? Because I feel the same thing. You know, not everybody wants to use an auto broker, but you know, how did it make you feel?
So I am extremely, I'm a people pleaser is what I've been referred to as. I like to make people happy. I like to do things for everyone and anyone, because I love giving. I'm a giver. Okay. So as a giver and a people pleaser, you take to heart what people say about you. So it was really hard for me to get past the negative comments or the, oh, you know, well, I saw someone else do that and maybe I can do it better and blah, 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 like all these random comments, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so getting past that is a huge obstacle that people are stuck in, especially women. No offense against guys, but women have this idea that they need to be something and they need to not talk they need to talk a certain way. They need to dress a certain way. They need to do all this stuff. And really, we just need to be ourselves. We need to be loving. We need to be like, just because you see something on Facebook and you don't agree with it does not mean you need to say something to that person.
Gotcha.
Just scroll by. And that's how I live my life. That's not how I've always lived my life, but that's how I live it now. And I meditate and I journal on being a better version of myself every day. And what does that look like in 10 years? You know, what does Mandy look like in 10 years? Well, I don't want to be stuck where I am right now. I love this studio. I love it. I'll stay here forever, but I don't want this to be my 10 years from now. You know what I mean? So I try
more to give to the world is what you're saying. It's going to be big thing. I've heard Will Smith say that, you know, people have asked him like, what's the next movie? What's this? What's that? And he always uses that word. Like, I'm working on something I can bring to the whole globe, you know, something big.
Global. Yes.
Global. Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
Like if you have this box and you're putting yourself in this box, you have a capacity and you can't get out of that box. So if you open that box, you have a plethora of area and space to grow. And I feel like we cap ourselves off sometimes. And that just makes it even harder to grow in a business when you're not constantly, you know, educating yourself and loving people around you and fellow business owners. Like some of my best friends are photographers. Like we should not be like trying to backstab each other or, you know what I mean? Like we should be helping each other and creating that community, especially in times like this. So.
Yeah, what would you do if you had all 700,000 people in this town to photograph? I mean, it's not going to happen.
You cannot do that. So why not go hand in hand? So I have a mentor, Melissa Stinsky. She's absolutely phenomenal. She is the reason those babies look like that. All cozied up. So it was my idea and my brainchild, but she helped me wrap them and helped everything go really smoothly. And she and I have become really close. And she is full of all this wisdom and I'm full of wisdom in other places. So we both come to this relationship with like a mutual understanding that we're here to help each other, not to like infringe, because there are babies born every day and no one can photograph them all or you will go crazy.
I mean, would you want to?
No.
Would you want to photograph them all?
My family would hate me.
Yeah, you would just, yeah.
I would be down here all the time. So it's just, you know, we need to love on each other a little bit more.
Sharing that journey, man. I mean, you know, so your journey becoming an entrepreneur was your journey uniquely, and you figured it out, and you're still working on figuring out your stride and moving forward. Mm-hmm. And I think that's awesome. You know, I mean, that's the thing. There's no real cookie cutter way of doing it. And even if there is a cookie cutter way of following, you can still branch out or do some things on your own and put your own unique personality into it. So I like it.
Yes, it's cool. I love it.
So for the few people, we've got some people tuned in. Let's see. Give us some tips on. I can't read my own writing. What tips do you have for staying busy during the quarantine? You know, as a business owner, you know, like what tips do you have? What, you know, it's down, nobody's buying. Like at the dealership here, my brokerage, the doors have to remain locked, but we can talk to you on Zoom.
Right.
We can have appointments, and we have a clean room for that across the hall for your paperwork and stuff like that. But for you, what would you tell a business owner out there that's struggling? They're down, they're starting to have depression sink in. Right. How can they stay busy right now during this time?
So as a business owner who runs out of her house and no one can come over right now, especially babies, you know, I mean, we're at stay-at-home order, so you can't. Me personally, my tips would be turn off your TV because
the news.
Yes, and your phone. I'm really bad about the phone. If I get on, I'll get to scrolling and it'll last forever. But turn off the TV and make a to-do list. So this is my to-do list for today. I have done 2 things. Make your list, cross them off, do a few things around the house, do a few things with your kids or with your husband, or take your dog for a walk, whatever that may look like for you. But if you're a business owner specifically, you need to set aside a certain amount of time. You need to work. Yes, I can't be shooting, but I can be learning new techniques on shooting, learning new techniques on posing. I can be learning editing. I am not a great editor, and I know that. I rely solely on what I see in my camera, which is why I I get good pictures in my camera so that they turn out good on my computer screen. A lot of people are opposite. They do a lot post and I don't. So, but I would love to learn that. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to actually put that into play. So as a photographer, and as a business owner, you have lots of, YouTube is a great resource. Reach out to local people. Like, it's crazy. Like, there are so many resources for business owners. I would be shocked if people don't come out of this quarantine knowing a lot more than they did going into it, because we've got so much time on our hands, So.
Well, let me tell you this, what you just said, and let me sum it up. Basically, we've been discussing this on my team, time blocking, so basically you're right. The day can get away from us. I could spend all day on YouTube, so time blocking, and try to take small bites, because we have this mountain of work we want to do. We want to be global. We want to put it out to the world. I understand that, but you need to make 15 phone calls today. And so when are you going to do that? From 9 to 10, right? Block it out. It could be 3 to 4 for some of you. It could be 12 to 1 for some people, but time blocking that activity to include things like walking your dog to keep yourself sane, keep yourself mentally straight, like block it out. And so that makes it a lot easier to handle in small bites instead of, I got to get all this stuff done today. Because believe it or not, I get crazy anxiety about what I got to get done, And I'm in my office, I'm isolated, but I have a mountain of things that I want to get done. And if I don't just block out a few things, I feel like I'm just getting overwhelmed by 1,000 things. So what you're saying is totally true.
Yeah, because once you think, okay, well, I need to redo my studio. Okay, well, what does redoing your studio look like? It looks like all these things, and then you get overwhelmed, and then you don't do it.
Yeah, the first step is let's plan. Let's sketch it out. For 1 hour, let's sketch it out. See how that feels. And then we'll move to the next thing.
Yeah. I'm a big proponent for to-do lists and picking like 5 things you want to do that day, and then saving the rest for the later. You know what I mean? So
what she's saying to you guys at home in quarantine is she's basically talking about managing. Here's your little graphic: managing your business like a badass. You know why she's a badass? Tell them why you're a badass, Mandy.
I'm a badass because I believe I'm a badass.
That's right.
I don't care what anyone says about me. I believe it because I'm a badass.
That's the first step, is believe it yourself. It doesn't matter if all of us have a graphic or something that says you're a badass. You got to own it yourself. So the first step for her is be a badass, and managing your business as a badass is to plan out your day and block out your time. When you're at home in quarantine, back to the question, right? You're at home in quarantine, you're overwhelmed, you're depressed. We're all looking for money. We're all doing this or whatever you're doing. Continue to be a badass, right?
Right. Just because you're in quarantine doesn't mean you can't be a badass.
Right. I love that. That was a great golden nugget. I like that.
I love it. Thanks.
So let's see here. I've got some buddies on YouTube that are asking a few questions.
Okay.
And this is Ian. Thank you for joining us today, buddy. Ian has a YouTube channel with like a lot of subscribers, and his company, his channel is called Medically Fit.
Cool.
I'll bring up his question. His first question is, how much time does Mandy work social media for business? So that's a great direct question, Mandy.
That is.
Medically Fit. This guy is in our town. His name is Ian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's really cool to connect with him. So go subscribe to his channel. Go check him out. He's a really cool dude.
Cool. I will. Hi, Ian. So social media wise, I block out time every day. I post about 2 to 3 times, try to post 2 to 3 times a day. I find that live videos get a lot more likes, and Facebook likes to push those out a lot more because you have more engagement. So also keeping people, if you're specifically talking about Facebook likes you to stay on Facebook. So if you post a YouTube on Facebook, it won't get as many likes as if you post a video on Facebook. Like,
that's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep. So that's what I've learned with that stuff. As a photographer, I take pictures. So I have lots of pictures, but creating those pictures and turning them into a video gets more engagement than pictures, because someone will sit and watch a video instead of flip through a bunch of pictures in an album. So, so back to the question, how much time? I probably spend about 30 minutes to an hour on social media, and then I turn it off. I have to turn my Facebook off because I have so many people that message me, just friends and stuff. And I get, down the rabbit hole of the videos and stuff. So probably about an hour a day, but I have to block it out or it doesn't get done. I also have a really cool social media person that I work with. Her name is Alex, and she owns Polished Media Management. She would be another good one to interview too, Ronnie. But she
Polished Media Management. Okay.
Polished Media Management. Yeah, I'll send you all these names.
Okay.
But she does about an hour or two of work for me, social media wise, a week. And so that's just where some of my money goes, just because it is a lot. It is really tedious, and there are a lot of proponents to it. So.
Well, you said something very serious. So basically, you don't take these postings as just playtime. It's part of your business. You are actually posting consistently for your business.
Yeah. And posting consistently is the biggest thing, is that, like, yeah, you can post every now and then, but the more you're out there, the better it is for clients to see you and for people to see you personally, not just what you're putting out, so pictures of yourself are also really good to put out there. So
he had another question. I'll put it up. Did Mandy take photography classes?
So no, I took a course that talks about photography classes, but I mean, it's like a wedding course, whatever, but it doesn't go into like the basics. So basically this wedding course, you have to already like know your camera. So I started with the basics and I learned my camera. The biggest thing I can tell you is that
you could probably help me with mine. I've got an SL3 EOS Canon. So I'll talk to you offline.
I'm a Canon girl. So, so basically I shot every day and I tried to make my pictures better every day. So picking up my camera every day, even though I'm in quarantine, I'm picking up my camera and I'm using
it's your craft.
Google Light. Yeah. Because the more you practice something, the better you're going to get. So my biggest thing, if you're starting a photography business, is learn your focal point before you learn your lighting. Because if your lighting is good and your focus is off, you're screwed. So
how's my camera look? Ian says our lighting looks good here. We've been working on this lighting and
yeah, no, it looks good. Yeah, it's actually kind of dark in my studio, which I was kind of shocked at. But
check out this next question.
Okay.
What kind of camera does she use?
So I'm a big. I hate that question.
Okay.
Truthfully, if you're a good photographer, you can do anything with any camera. So it doesn't technically matter what camera, but I shoot with a Canon 5D Mark III.
I've heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, and then my backup is a 60. And then I've got lenses that I switch out, which are more expensive than the actual body.
When I produce videos for YouTube, right now I'm on a webcam. It's a $90 webcam. It's a Logitech C922X or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's HD and it's decent. I mean, it's all you really need. But when I make videos for my YouTube channel, I use that Canon because it just brings out everything. And, the microphone is more important to me. But either way, we got a lot more to talk about offline about that Canon.
Oh, yeah. We can talk more. So.
Let's see if you had another question. So I love this statement. Ian says, there's enough of the pie that everyone in the same business can get a piece.
Yep.
People are starting to understand that collaboration is more important than domination. It's like we can all collaborate.
Yeah. And we can all build each other up and make each other better, so
let's see what else he had to say. Here's a good question. Mandy, do you find posting media more in the morning, afternoon, or evening seem to get more likes, comments, and engagement? You can see Ian is a pro.
He is.
He gets a lot of action.
Right. So I've never actually boosted a post, and the one time I did, it didn't get any engagement. So I just figured that whatever is there is, you know what I mean? Like whatever happens. So that the viral photos that went viral were not because I boosted or I spent any money. It was because I posted in the right places. So I am a humongous Friends fan. So I posted this in a Friends fanatic group and people went crazy.
You're talking about your photo, your viral photo.
Yeah, my viral photo, yeah. But as far as when I posted it, I find first thing in the morning because people get up and then they immediately scroll Facebook.
Like this.
Yep. In the morning around lunchtime. And then normally when people would have, not in quarantine, but when people get off work,
Right.
The most engagement because people are on their phones.
Okay.
I find that like late at night, you'll get some people, but like you won't get as much engagement. You get people looking at things, but not as much shares because people are asleep. Their friends are sleeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't put a big emphasis on when I post. I just post constantly. So I would put more emphasis on consistency than when you're posting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he says here that one of his videos has 450,000 views and it's all organic. He hasn't boosted it. He hasn't posted it or spent money on it. And that's pretty much the way I'm growing my channel. I mean, we're just basically, we're going to work hard and we're going to give the value that we think will help people, Right.
Yeah.
So, well, that's awesome, man. You know what? Let me put that back up there. Managing business like a badass. She is a badass. So
I love it.
What else could I ask you? Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right. So let's put the website up. So basically, during quarantine, and since we're all out there looking to do a little bit of business right now, what type of promotions or programs do you have going on that people could take advantage of right now?
So right now it's actually really hard. So I'm putting together a Mother's Day session that was supposed to be at the end of April, but now is going to be at the beginning of May. All things, decided on this virus. But
Right.
And so I'm running that right now. But it's hair and makeup and a session with your kids. It's the weekend, May 3rd and 4th, I believe. I'll have to look specifically, but I have like a makeup artist and hairstylist coming into the studio, and so you get your hair and makeup done, and your little girls can get their hair and makeup done, and it's $250, and so you get 5 images with that. You get to pick your favorite ones. They get edited. You get them within a week, and it's just kind of some time to spend making yourself as a mom feel good about yourself. So.
Awesome. I love it. A Mother's Day program. Yeah.
So
that's going to be coming up. That's going to be coming up.
Yeah.
Well, so cool. Awesome. This was great.
Yeah, I appreciate
do this again after the quarantine.
Yes, always.
Yeah, let's see. One of my future goals. Let's get 6 of us on here. I want it to be local people that you and I know or whatever, and we can just chop it up. But in order to keep us sane, we got to pick like a topic.
Yeah, right. I know, we would be everywhere.
Yeah, we'll just go crazy. So I'm glad that you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with me. And keep it going. Keep being a badass.
I will.
Awesome.
So thanks.
All right. Well, tell your husband I'd like to meet him when he's ready.
I will.
Maybe bring him on too, and we can talk real estate.
I was going to try to sneak him down here or something and be like, hey, look, it's Ronnie. But don't worry, I'll introduce you guys. So thank you so much, Ronnie. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Have a great day. And if you guys have any other comments, just post them in the comments box. We're going to try and share this on the social media places for the replay. And Mandy can respond to you directly and answer all the questions you have. Offline, I will be talking about that Canon that I have.
Yes, please do.
All right. Well, let's check out and we'll go back to the offline.
Okay.